GM everybody, and welcome to Alphamint. Welcome to the AM show hosted live on Alphamint. It is an amazing Wednesday as we come near to the end of the year. I am your host R2D and joined with me, as always, is Mr. Free Market Critterz.
Hey now.
Hey, now, sorry, I'm
Critters, what up?
stumbling my way through the intro, but Critterz is something that we are going to talk lots about today because that was just something that came out of nowhere and was an incredible cook. But yeah, so it's Wednesday, it's hump day. We talked yesterday about Monday feeling like maybe it was a bit of a day off, and if it was a day off, it was only one because yesterday went absolutely nuts again. And it does feel like we are firmly in the middle of a full-on bull market now that tax loss season is kind of maybe coming to a close. So how was your day yesterday?
Pretty amazing. It was just one drop after another. Everyone thought the story of the day was going to be Wulfz, as that was the first thing to drop early in the morning. Highly anticipated, mostly whitelisted. They thought about 500 would go to the public, and it ended up being about 1,500. But the demand was there from people who weren't whitelisted. I think at one point it got up to 0.2, and it's cooled off a bit, but it's sitting comfortably above mint for anyone that was in the pre-sale.
Yeah, for sure. We had Wulfz dropping. We had Prime Ape Planet dropping yesterday. Those were ones that we were expecting. We got wind that Land DAO was going to be dropping. That was going to be, a little bit exciting too. There was some kind of sneaky hype regarding that, but then there were some projects that just came completely out of left field and basically just dominated the day. And that being Critterz, which we'll definitely get into. Overall, looking in the crypto market, things are bleak again. We're doing that Michael Scott snip snap snip snap snip snap thing where it's just like up down up down. The drops and the rises have been pretty violent, but again, we're still finding support. Looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're still around 47, 48,000 and 3,800 respectively. But some great plays on the week seem to be some of the DeFi tokens, like Sushi has had a great week. It's up almost 60%. Near token, which I'm not familiar with, Aave, Uniswap doing really well. So it's not all bleak there, but for the large, top 10 cryptos, top 20 cryptos, they're hurting a little bit. Not too bad though.
Yeah, this is what we call on Wall Street consolidation. It happens after giant legs, whether up or down. Both sides will think they are about to be proven right many times as they get teased in both directions. We are yet to see what will happen. So far, it looks like a giant bull flag, and we will see which way it resolves. It's sideways movement.
We pretty much say this every day at this point. It's almost getting redundant to even mention, although we just kind of do it as part of the show. But yeah, it seems to be working for NFTs as people kind of get bored with what's going on in the underlying assets of them. So yeah, well, I mean, we'll keep an eye on it, but who knows? Doesn't really matter. NFTs are running, and that's what we're here for, and that's the important part. Some quick news coming out of Decrypt. I'm seeing that Apple, Meta, NVIDIA take top weightings in ProShares Metaverse ETF filing. Amid demand from investors, ProShares is seeking to launch a Metaverse-themed fund featuring heavy weightings in Apple, NVIDIA, and Meta. If you have some money in your traditional accounts, like your Roth, I think is in the States, or it's called a TFSA and an RSP in Canada. Might be something to watch out for if you want some more exposure to that. ETFs, they could do pretty well as just a general fund. I don't know. Would you put your hard-earned dollars USD into this?
I think most of us here are specialists, and we tend to make more concentrated bets than ETFs, but these are very appealing to the public who has other stuff to do all day. I mean, diversification is good when you can't watch stuff every day. Otherwise, you want to make really concentrated bets and things you have.
Yeah, I mean, these feel like the obvious stocks to be a part of that, and ones that just typically do. This just feels like a FANG stock to be ETF to be, but I don't know what the rest of their division will be or the diversification in the fund will be. But there's demand on Wall Street, and it doesn't seem like this is as much of a fad as say like an Instagram or a Facebook would have you believe when you mention NFTs on those platforms. So Wall Street getting involved in any way that they can.
Yeah, it's just one of those buzzwords, and we saw it last year with SPACs or with meme stonks and things like that. This year's buzzword is no question going to be NFTs. Any company that says that word is going to see a pretty nice pop on the SPICs the next day. So
Yeah, for sure. So just thought that was interesting and something to watch out for if you are still managing some traditional funds and want some exposure there. Big kind of news of the day going down was actually the Mutant Ape M3 Serum being applied live on Twitch. I saw Tropo Farmer hosting that, but the serum sold for $3.6 million, and it was applied last night to I think there was probably 6 or 7 thousand people watching this live. It's done really well for the Mutant Ape floor. We're sitting at about an 11 ETH, but the volume on that project has done very well as they've gotten some hype through that, and yeah, I like to see the fanfare of it too. It's fun that they did it live. I'm just gonna pull the picture up now. I showed it to you earlier. What's your take on this? How do you feel about it?
it's one of my more favorite apes. It is stark. It definitely feels one of one like. In fact, if Cobain had just sent me this picture and not told me that it was a one of one from the Mega Serum, I would have assumed it was some sort of ape derivative. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just think they did a very, very good job if their goal was to differentiate these from the rest of the apes. I mean, these things are going to be famous. They're essentially the one of ones in collections. Now, there were other directions that they could go, of course. So, some people may say I would have preferred it looked more like the underlying NFTs, because when many of these breeding programs, and we can use creature toads as an example, the traits that end up coming out are related to the two toads you breed. So breeding two rares will give you something more special than necessarily breeding two commons. Kaijus, on the other hand, it's completely random. If you bred two rares, you could get a common, you could get a rare, and vice versa. So each project chooses to do this differently.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that with the M1 serum and the M2 serum, you're applying it to the ape, um, and based on the traits of the original ape, it kind of it grows into something. With the M1, it's not slightly mutated, but it's mutated, and then the M2 is heavily mutated. The M3 being applied to something, these are just one of ones, as you've mentioned, and I know that it would be obviously they can't make 10,000 one of ones to go with each ape, especially because there's not going to be that many serums. But I think as like some of these top tier collectors probably would have wanted to see like their specific ape in that series, especially for the people that have the M1 and the M2 already. But I mean, like you said, it looks really cool. I like it. If I had 16 million or $4 million to spend, and that was all I had, it wouldn't be on this. I would definitely buy some floors. But for people that are dabbling in those 9-figure portfolios, and this is going to be kind of hanging above the fireplace and front and center, this is a pretty dope piece of work. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. These are pretty nice. And I think the one you showed me may be my favorite ape I've ever seen. I actually like the mutants more than the regular bored apes. Some of the mutants I've seen I really like. Some of them I really don't like. And I mean, I guess that's every collection, but I think the one
100%.
you sent me is my favorite ape I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. It's got the colors. It's got a lot going on. The details are intricate. I think the one thing about the mutant apes from the bored apes is that you kind of really see an evolution in their style too. It wasn't like they switched it up dramatically, but they definitely got better at what they did and more comfortable with the artwork, and efficiently putting in more detail without making it too muddy. So I mean, this brand just continues to roll, man. Like they keep doing their stuff better and better and better, and it seems like every day there's something new to talk about with them, and they're really capturing that attention that we talked about yesterday so well. They just know how to stay front and center all the time.
There's so much demand to be in that club that I don't think when they add new NFTs, it's dilutive. I think it does the opposite, because when people see how much demand there is for the lower end ones, the high end apes and mutants get more of a bid. So we see it from both directions. When somebody paid 888 for that mega serum, that's when mutants started to rocket above 10, and now they're sitting at 11, and they got up to 12 yesterday. And then you see it from the other end as well. If they release mutant dogs next, and this is a 30,000 collection, and it can still sit at 1 or 2E, which would be half of what the regular dogs are, I think that would make the underlying Bored Ape and Mutant Apes go up even more, as people see, wow, there really is that much demand just to be in this club. And no question, these guys are the undisputed kings of utility and NFTs in general right now.
A couple things actually just came to mind when you said that too, right? One was that idea that if you take a picture of the Mona Lisa, it doesn't devalue it. In fact, the more that gets shared, the more the original underlying asset goes up, and it's just that general exposure thing, kind of like you mentioned. The other thing too is that if a Ferrari releases a limited series next year of say 1,200 cars that they're selling to their most exclusive Ferrari holders, it doesn't make the Enzo that they dropped 15 years ago less valuable. In fact, I would argue that it makes it more valuable, right? They continue to capture that attention and stay in the mainstream relevance, and it makes all of these old legacy projects at this point just go up in value, as well as it allows some new people into the club, so to speak. So yeah, I mean, they're firing on all cylinders, and they seem to be doing the right stuff. I don't know if you would agree with that, but that would be my take on it.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah, for sure. So I didn't quite catch how many more of these M3 serums there are. I think that you said there was a thousand ETH bid on another one that has not gotten accepted. Oh, sorry. There's 4 remaining unused mega serums. I just saw that now. So, I imagine these are just going to continue to go up in value, and we'll see where it goes.
It was funny because when the 888 sale happened, someone in the DGen dojo said, "What? Who would pay 888 for that? That's not worth 888 ETH."
888 ETH is a lot of money. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know if you cut out there, or if that was the end of your thought, or if I cut out. Okay, well, anyways, moving on. Another thing that I just saw coming out of the Bored Apes was yesterday. Machi Big Brother did buy a very clean looking Bored Ape for 430 ETH yesterday. Just another huge purchase, $1.7 million, $1.6 million at the time of the sale. So it's pretty cool there. Machi Big Brother was somebody that we talked about last week that was involved in an unfortunate scam. And his name was struggling for that, but he's still splashing.
I was rubbed by Discord. I'm back.
Yeah, man, Discord is like it's like literally the worst. We can literally talk for 2 hours before the show, and then we get up here and it's just like problem after problem. I don't know what to do with it.
And the 2 most popular broadcasting platforms in the industry, Spaces and Discord, are just being rugged regularly now by the servers that underpin them, which I'm guessing are AWS. As if you ever click on one of OpenSea's error issues, they always send that blame over to AWS. Amazon Web Services is having issues right now.
We need to get a Hard Rock Nick video out to Amazon saying, "Can Jeff Bezos do something?"
Did you
every time I check servers down.
Hard Rock Nick is like a crypto savant. Like, he's very savvy. I thought he was this guy that had nothing to do with crypto, that people just liked the way he said, "Can the devs do something?" But this guy apparently knows the game.
Is that right?
Yeah. Hard Rock
I
Nick,
never
he's
actually
a
knew
shark.
how that connection ended up getting made into, the embrace of Hard Rock Nick into crypto. But I mean, he's been everywhere, and I'm sure he's making a sound little stack of change off of these, 15, 30-second
So
clips.
every morning after the AM show, there is something called the Morning Squeeze on Twitter, which is a Lemon Spaces that's hosted every day by a man named Michael, who I believe is the gentleman who actually introduced Hard Rock Nick to the crypto world. No, even though he was in the crypto world, he introduced him to this idea of doing these restreams, or no, what are they called?
Cameos.
Cameos, yeah. Sorry. All right, tangent.
No,
Back
that's
online.
good. I'm actually, man, you need to make that connection. Let's get Hard Rock Nick on.
I was gonna say, yeah. Well, no. Tune into the Morning Squeeze after this, and I'm gonna ask the host to explain that, and then we'll get Hard Rock Nick on the show.
We need that connection to be made. That I mean, it would break Alphamint if nothing else.
Let's do it.
Especially when we can get him to say "Ban Rajesh" live. So no, that's a lot of fun. The last thing that I had for news before we kind of get into the specific projects was just the gas drop that occurred yesterday evening, which is kind of in the same vein of SOS. You connect your wallet, it calculates how much fees in gas you've paid over. I'm not sure if it was the last year or the inception of your wallet. I'm sure for a lot of people that's the same.
I'm sitting here looking at a free 0.2 right now from my not main wallet in gas, like whatever it is, just gas token. Just like you're almost numb to it at this point after SOS and after ENS and after Uniswap.
Oh, free 0.2. I thought you said 3.2, and I'm like, holy
no.
fuck! Like, how much in gas have you spent, man?
No, it's 0.2. It's 0.2 right now on a wallet that I think I started this wallet at the beginning of the year. And it's 0.2.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. It's amazing.
I'm having flashbacks to the SOS discussion where it's like, do you just take this and sell? Do you wait for it to go somewhere? Like, what does that mean to you? Do you need liquidity right away? Mine was about the same when I claimed it last night. It was about 0.2. Pretty shocking to see how much I've spent in gas, but let's not go there. But it's something. And, now I'm conflicted because SOS did so well. It's continuing to kind of hold. It dipped below that point, say, like 0.0006 yesterday that we mentioned. And I don't know if gas goes in the same trajectory if if it's really like got the same rallying cry against like OpenSea as the NFT community feels.
Here's the bull case, right? The NFT community is about 300,000 large. Yes, we're all a bunch of degens and lunatics, but that was about the size of the SOS drop. Gas, on the other hand, covers anybody that's ever used Ethereum for any reason. That would be every DeFi whale, everybody who has transacted on the chain. This isn't just for NFT people. So in that respect, it's bigger.
Yep.
But you got to understand, the NFT people are about community, rallying, getting behind something like this and making it something makes sense. Whereas the DeFi community is much more like, oh, you're not me, well, fuck you. So I think it's just, and I don't even mean that in a bad way. I just think that DeFi is completely different than NFT, though the two are merging right now. And I do believe in the future it will be like they were ever separate to begin with. But yeah, so I definitely do not get the same spidey tingle from gas that I did from SOS. At the same time, like, I don't know, it's a free 0.2 sitting there. These things get stupid. It's all dependent on your personal situation. If $700 is a fucking great day, take it. You know what I mean? Like, hey.
Yeah, it's so funny to be like, oh, only 0.2. I mean, like, it's just like $800, $700 just showed up in your wallet, and if that was your bank account, fuck yeah. And if it's your Ethereum account, you're like, come on, we could do better. These are rookie numbers. Pump that shit up, man. Come on. Yeah, it's funny when you put it like that. I mean, we were talking about in the pre-show. You were just like, you were making a purchase, and you're like, that just paid for that. And I'm like, yeah, oh my God, you're right. Like it did just
Right.
it just paid for a relatively large
And
purchase of yours, and it
I'm
just
sitting
showed up in your
there,
wallet, and you're like, I don't
I'm
know if I
yelling
should
at
take
you
it.
like, I'm really going to spend $30 on this stupid video game. Microsoft, I'm giving 30. Would you believe that my card actually declined the first transaction because they thought it was so suspicious that I would even buy a Microsoft product that they threw up a red flag immediately. Now, God bless Apple and Goldman Sachs, who runs the Apple credit card, because you can just go right in the app and say, yes, I did intend to make this purchase. No, it is not fraudulent. Please send it through. So Microsoft did get my $27. But I'll tell you, sending that 27 to Microsoft feels a lot harder than letting the 700 ride on, I don't know, gas token, the latest Ponzi that we were dropped for free.
Well, I mean, in a roundabout way, you do have to thank Microsoft for Apple even existing at this point. So that could just be a tip. No?
I wanted to see how long.
Yeah, just
I
the
could let
awkward
day
silence. You
of
hate
3
that.
cents.
You hate that happened. And you know it's true.
I hate it. I hate it.
Wow.
I bought Solana and a Microsoft product all in the same month.
It's like,
pretty sure the apocalypse is
I don't
occurring.
even know you, man. Fuck.
Um,
So gas DAO, yeah. Actually, it was really funny. Just to wrap up the gas DAO, we were all hanging out in voice chat last night, playing the Minecrafts, which we'll get into very shortly. And you know, Agmar was like, if there's one thing that NFTers hate more than OpenSea, it's gas. And I was like, ooh, I don't even know if that's true. And then everyone was like, yeah, definitely not. We hate OpenSea more. And I'm like, yeah, it's funny. So yeah, it is a rallying cry. I do actually, while I was listening to you say like it affects more people, like true, good point.
No, well, I saw a tweet by Nate Roth, who's a really smart guy. I think we all follow him. He's an ape on Twitter or whatever. But he was like, he said that exact thing, that SOS hit about 300,000 people. This drop hits everyone who's ever been on Ethereum chain. I just don't think that community has like the same oomph as NFT does. So I don't see gas doing what SOS did, and I'll probably sell at some point and take the free money. I'm just watching it now.
Free market, live on the show. We were just talking about it. Serum number 69 was just purchased for 999 ETH.
The guy accepted. I was wondering too, because it was definitely the next Serum was definitely going to go for more than 8.
Oh yeah, you got to think. I wonder who bought that, but
yeah. I mean, it is amongst the wealthy. I don't think we understand how, $5 million for a painting is really nothing, and you could argue whether these are actually worth it or not. But these are both fashion items. These are flexes. These are fine pieces of art. And $5 million for the one of ones in the preeminent collection in this entire industry is not expensive.
Yeah, these are going absolutely nuts, and they seem to continue to do nuts, or go nuts. It'll be fun to watch if they do it in the kind of the same fashion as the other ones, the live streaming. I see no reason why people won't make events of these reveals. Well, we've seen bigger fanfare for less.
We saw the floor flip with apes and punks. I'm waiting for the record flip, which would be a punk selling, an ape selling for more than $11 million, which is the record for a crypto punk.
Yeah, it might not be too far away at this rate.
I don't think so either.
Thank you so much to Adam Saresco for shouting that out in the AM show chat. Always fun to get this information live on the stream so that we can bring it to you. But that's a big purchase. So that's exciting. Exciting stuff.
Amazing. I think I think it is going to fuel more up only, not just in apes today, but I just think everyone, when people see that, they want to go buy NFTs. And if you can't afford apes, you're buying the next thing down.
This is the kind of stuff that hits mainstream news cycles, right? Like routinely
Yeah.
seeing these highly recognizable projects selling for, mid seven figures. And it catches people's attention, even if the hot take is like, for another $4 million purchase for an internet picture. It's just out there. And like I just said, it wasn't more than 10 minutes ago that I just said that this project has just done so good at capturing attention that we can't even go 10 minutes on the show without bringing it back up again. So
imagine being some Top Shot kid who paid 0.02 for an ape and you got dropped one of these mega serums. Come on.
Nuts, life-changing stuff here.
I love it. I'm so happy for everyone who bought those things.
Yeah, should have been us. Great. Free market should have been us. It was in our hand, and we bought Leet token. You want to talk about that? We need some counseling for that one.
Yeah,
still feeling the effects of that, but here we are. Anyways, really quickly, gonna just go over WGMI. Adidas into the metaverse is always popping up on here, and it really fucking pisses me off. And this is why floors aren't always good to look at. The floor price on this is so bugged that it's constantly looking like it's up 400%. It is not, but still having
What's it sitting at, by the way?
It's about point. Let me just. I actually have to click on it to see.
I've been waiting to buy one.
0.68. It does not seem to want to drop below that. WGMI is saying it's at 0.3. Oh, now it's at 0.138. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. Anyways,
to me at 0.6, 0.7, I like the Adidas.
Well, I mean, with everything that's going on with apes and punks and, these companies getting into the metaverse, it does not seem like a terrible buy if you have some extra, I wouldn't dig deep into your active liquidity to do so. But I mean, if you're peeling off some profits and you wanted to just park it in something, that doesn't seem like a terrible place to do it, honestly.
If 0.7 is something you can afford, I really like it as a play. Both, and for the physical component too. I mean, how are we going to get the hype boys and the Supreme guys in here? It starts with physical.
Yeah, Wolf Game seems to be back in a big way too. It's the Wolf Game farmers are up to about a 0.5 ETH floor. Going to be watching that. No participation on this end from there. Wolf Game Wulfz still doing really well too. They're hitting a point. What? Man, OpenSea needs to fix their fucking. It's saying a 0.75 floor, and then like the lowest priced one is 6.3 ETH. So I'm assuming it's around 6 ETH there.
I know we're going to talk about Critterz in a second, and we have been talking about this trend coming for a minute, but if 2022 isn't going to be the year of like P2E, utility token, DeFi, risk protocol clashing with NFTs, I think this is going to take the world by storm. I am going to keep saying this until it happens, that the next Shiba Inu, like $0 to $30 billion market cap phenomena is going to be one of these coins. Like, there is something to be said for a strategy of just throwing $1,000 into any of these utility tokens and seeing if it's the next shit. 500, but whatever your risk tolerance is, like 500 to $1,000 in each of these utility tokens is going to make the next millionaire next year.
Yeah, I'm watching this super closely. There seems to be so much coming through with on-chain gaming, and like, I've said it before, gaming is one of those trends that since its inception, 30 years ago, and really started gaining popularity 20 years ago, it was always a fad. It was always a fad. It was always a fad. And now look at it, it is the largest industry and one of the largest industries in the world. And if you look at people under the age of 20, it's not guys sitting in their parents' basement not getting a job. It's like everybody plays video games now, and it's not just young men, it's not like males, it's females. Everybody plays it. Like, I asked my kid, he's almost 11 years old, like, who plays Roblox, who plays Minecraft, who plays Fortnite? He was like, everybody in his class plays it. The girls do, the guys do. It's just what they do. And if it wasn't already on that trend, the pandemic has springboarded that into reality too, as like that's the only way that they were able to socialize for quite some time. So with NFTs coming into the forefront and now sort of kind of marrying the gaming trend, I don't I if there's one thing that I don't think is a fad in this space, it's the gaming stuff. Like I don't um never underestimate the way that captures people's attention.
I mean, we're already in the metaverse. Like, we're talking about Roblox, we're talking about Fortnite, we're talking about Minecraft. Our kids, the next generation, is already firmly in the metaverse. It's about appealing to them with ownership, right? That's what this is.
Yep.
It's verifiable ownership, and I think that's very appealing to people once they see how much money is here and how much money is being made by the gatekeepers of these companies.
And that's so important too, because so many people that were adamant gamers before it really became like full on mainstream, like listen to like, oh, your parents or people, you're never going to make any money playing video games. There's pro gamers that are on 7-figure salaries now, the huge sponsorships, you have VCs like, buying pro esports teams. And now that there's a way for these play to earn games to actually exist, and you can just sit here playing Minecraft and be earning block. Fuck it, let's just get into that conversation. um these things are almost like vindication for anybody that was told that like games are a waste of your time, essentially. But yeah, so Critterz dropped not yesterday, quite some time ago, that unminted, almost not minted at all. And then Lucas came in with like, the alpha of the month potentially, dropped this to the DGen dojo. Correct me if I'm wrong, it was a free drop, one per transaction, one per wallet. And
Correct.
Basically just out of nowhere, this project just went full steam ahead into minting out. It was about a 4,000 supply drop. And from a free mint, it has now gone to 0.8 floor. Let me just refresh that and see where we're at. Last we were talking about was about 0.95. Looks like there might have been a little bit of a dump right now, 0.7. So if you were sitting on the sidelines and thinking about entering in, I'm not sure if this is as low as it'll go, but this is a juicy looking price for the time being. Thing that caught my eye was just that there's not a lot of these for sale. In a 4,000 drop, we're sitting at 167. The floor is very, very thin. The activity has been nuts on it. We've seen Steve Aoki jump in last night and buy shitloads of these and then start renting them out. Alphamint just went full force into them. We probably minted, what would you say, over 100 of them? Maybe not that many.
Maybe not that many, but I know at least 30, maybe even 40. And then people who could afford it were buying it off the secondary at 0.4, 0.5, 6.
Yeah.
This is, now, first of all, let's look at this from a macro standpoint, because whether you were in this drop or not, the fact that a stealth free mint is sitting the next day close to 1E with almost no pullback, constant genie sweeps, outside interest into this thing. Bull market is back. It's here. I don't know how long it's going to last, but man, just being in various alpha rooms yesterday, whether it was the DGen dojo, orcs, or kaijus, people were going nuts. It was mint after mint after mint with instant cooks. And I mean, they weren't all 10Xs, but most of them are still above mint. And Critterz was the play of the day. Like you said, could be the play of the month, where it was very slow at first. I think when Lucas had dropped it, there were 300 minted. We all looked at it. We were like, well, what is it? Is it safe? Okay, whatever. Had it been, 2 months ago, we all would have jumped on this faster than you can imagine. But when's the last time a stealth free mint did anything, right? It's just
well, correct me if I'm wrong. They removed the price from it. Is that not one of the elements of it?
I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that.
If someone can confirm, I'm under the impression that they, this wasn't minting out at a price, and then finally they just said, "Fuck it, let's." I'm not sure. I know I heard that, but I'm not sure if that's completely true now.
Well, he dropped it. Yep. I minted one. Like, okay, cool. Because you could only. I thought it was one for free, then mint as many as you want for a price. But no, it was you get to mint one for free, and that's all you get. And if you look at how they've structured the game theory, they've put whale protection in there, where the returns on having more than one in a wallet diminish really fast on a steep bonding curve.
Yeah, about
so
4,
that
yeah.
the most benefit you have is having one. Yeah, having one in each wallet. Now, it started to mint a little faster. About 1,000 more went, and then the kaijus got onto it. It started to mint even quicker, and I started to mint them in as many wallets as I could. I minted them in all the ones I had easily available, and I got lazy, which I'm kicking myself for today, of course. But man, this is doing everything right in the exact trend we were just talking about, which is P2E. This is using Minecraft servers and skins, which such a large amount of people are already very familiar with. You had told me you play college. I know my little brothers played a ton of Minecraft. I knew nothing about it beyond you build, you find resources and build stuff. You can even do like player to player things, and each server can design different incentives, different skins. It's an open source game. Well, they have now open sourced, forked it to Ethereum, created these NFT assets. You verify them within their server, and you go about earning the currency block. You can earn, I think, up to 25 a day passively if you do nothing, but there are modifiers and multipliers depending on certain things you do. In fact, we should see a reveal later today, and depending on the rarity, I believe you can earn more block. I'm not sure which is more rare yet. It's a relatively complicated white paper to dig through and understand the game, but I think the real killer feature to this, because yes, we've seen staking, yes, we've seen P2E. I think the real underlying catch here is the renting, right? I've never played Minecraft, but I have 3 people in my life that played it obsessively, right? And while I may not spend 4 hours a day playing, definitely allow them to. Now, you can rent the ones that are staked. If you go on to OpenSea right now, you'll see there's 2 collections. There's Genesis Critterz, which is the one sitting at the 0.7 floor right now. And then there are staked Critterz, which are at a 0 floor, because they're essentially being rented out to Minecraft players for free, as the renter automatically receives 1/3 of the block that the person who is renting it earns. Now, you can revoke it back after a week. You have to do it manually, or you can let the person continue to play, I suppose, if that is what you would like to do. At first, people were renting them for like $25 a week, whatever it is. Now they're essentially free because people realize the goal here, at least in the first phase of this game, is to acquire as much block as possible to participate in the land grab. This is a metaverse. This is a virtual world that many are familiar with in Minecraft, and we are all earning block now to buy land. There is no liquidity pool yet. Block is relatively slow to earn, but a lot of plots have been sold, and I believe there's going to be a pretty large Alphamint raid later today with all our players trying to earn enough block to buy some land.
Yeah, all of this is so interesting to me. As you kind of mentioned, I have played Minecraft in the past on and off, like, when I was younger, but also, since my son's kind of come into that gaming age, Minecraft is holds a very captive audience to younger people as well. Um, I'm really trying to wrap my head around where this can go. Now, I'm gonna say this all with a grain of salt because I think it's important that we at least just have the discussion about the value propositions and this stuff. The fact that this is at a point 0.8 floor does not surprise me in the least. I could definitely see it going higher. We've seen projects with much less potential do even better than that. So this isn't really a comment on the price. The one thing that like I'm trying to just like wrap my head around is that like Minecraft at its core, like just the base version of Minecraft, is a fun game. There's lots to do in it, but there's not like while there's like an infinite amount of things to do, like there's kind of a cap on where you kind of get to. And after that point, like it's almost like people have that mentality of like, I just want to start a new world and start it over again, and start that randomization process over. um there's no real like built-in economic stuff for like playing with you and three friends versus playing with 200 other people on a server, at least in the base version of it. So I'm really going to be watching to see if they end up adding any mods to it, if they end up adding any modules to it. The plots of land are like the protected spaces that are X amount of blocks by Y amount of blocks, and they kind of go out from the center spawn area, which is where everybody starts. I mean, you can look at that as the downtown area. Everybody starts there and then kind of works their way out. So from a metaverse sense, like this all just it makes good sense. Like I downloaded this, I jumped into it. You stake your critter, and then you verify it, and like immediately I just had this moment of like, this is so fucking obvious, right? Like we talk about metaverse, we talk about sand, we talk about decentraland, and like we all knew Minecraft was there and it was a thing. um it's always been a multiplayer experience. There's always been a huge fan base of it, but there was just that second that I was like, it makes so much fucking sense to me that this is where we're at. So kudos to this team for actually executing it and making it work and really kind of like grabbing everybody's attention like that. I'm just watching to see how they hold that attention further. Because like eventually, like you could rent these out, but like I want to see what that value proposition of block is, right? Like you're buying the land has importance around the center, et cetera, et cetera. I get all of that. But I want to see them build an economy around this and really like see it take on a life of its own, more like a World of Warcraft, where there's like these internal social dynamics and a bit of a player built economy too. I think that's when something like a block token can really start to pick up steam. Maybe they have multiple servers, maybe they have different servers, maybe there's different worlds. I don't know if that kind of screws their scarcity of land. But yeah, I think there's tons of stuff that they can do about it. I just want to see them be able to hold the attention.
I think the good news here is that these guys are geniuses, and I'm not using that as an expression. These are Y Combinator alums.
Yes.
These guys seem to be backed by real money off of the NFT world, outside of the NFT world. So as far as their ability to turn it into something, I do have confidence they can. But I think I have the same questions as you are too. I'm deferring to you because I don't understand Minecraft. But from what you're saying, there has to be. We've talked about in general, the P2E game that takes over the world has to be more compelling to play than just for the fact that you earn money. People have to want to play it for fun. So I don't know what strikes that balance within Minecraft, and I don't know what strikes that balance necessary with any project as far as reaching that goal. That's what I'm on the lookout for. So do I have confidence that a team like this can do it? Yes. I like the pedigree. I like where they're coming from. I like the drop. I like the thesis. So we'll see if this one is it. But I definitely have the same concerns as you. I'd like to see what they're going to build from this.
Yeah, just to expand on that point a little bit, when you are playing the game, I'm led to believe based on these charts or whatever that as long as you are active in the game, and that is active in moving around and like not doing any particular action but just doing actions, you will earn the block token. If you are just standing there AFK, one, you will get booted from the server, and two, you will not be earning blocks. So you actually do have to participate. But the one thing that kind of to add on to my previous point was just that it would be kind of cool that if you were performing certain actions, you were gaining more blocks. For instance, if you're breaking a block that has diamond in it and you collect that diamond, maybe you get a little bit more of a bonus in the rate at which you earn.
Well,
And not in a way
Discord,
that can be heavily exploited, but in a way that incentivizes people that are playing the game well to do even better, rather than some guy who's programmed a bot to just run in circles out in the forest and earn block.
Right. And I was seeing that in the Discord for these Critterz, people were trying to buy diamonds and iron ore for anywhere from 0.2 to even 1 ETH. So again, I don't
Oh, that's
know
cool.
necessarily.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I don't know how these elements necessarily play into the actual game theory, but there already seems to be a market for the resources you can mine in this world. So yeah, once the show is over, and the morning squeeze is done, I am hopping into Minecraft to figure this out.
Yeah.
I've always loved hunting treasure, so
Yeah.
if I can grab a
and,
pickaxe and find some diamonds, I mean, yeah.
And honestly, take this to somebody who's played this game without being paid to earning block token or whatever. It can be a very enjoyable experience. If like I always found it to be very relaxing. Like you just go out there and just start fucking digging and building shit. Like it's very, it can be very low effort. It can be very high effort if that's what you want. So it's actually a fun game too.
Can you plug an Oculus into this thing?
I believe you can. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I may buy an Oculus just to try this. What? This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I bought my little brother for Christmas like 5 years ago a foam pickaxe because they were selling like Minecraft toys at the store, and it was a giant foam pickaxe. And I've come full circle now. Give me that pickaxe. Let's go.
Yeah, this is super cool. This is where I love to see projects going. Obviously, Minecraft isn't on the blockchain, no pun intended. But I do think that in the interim, this is kind of where games are going to be. It's very interactive. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch this and participate in this. So as Free Market said, he's going to get this all set up and installed. I'm going to jump down into the voice chat and we're going to play this game together. Let's see if we can maybe accomplish something. If anybody wants to team up, pool up, we were talking about that yesterday. Buy some land for maybe an Alphamint headquarters or something like that. If you want to do your own thing, that's okay too. But I'll share my screen. I'll stream it. I'll help anybody that's having questions about it and whatnot. And Algmar is somebody who's very knowledgeable in it as well, and he was doing an amazing job helping everybody out last night, even just jumping into the server. Not much of a learning curve though, just to, like, keep in mind, like, people of all ages play this game and enjoy it, so it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see some of you in there.
Is this real life? This is amazing. I love this.
This is absolutely not the last conversation we're going to have about this. There's definitely going to be tons more to come. So excited to see what the team's capable of doing with this. And this is, like I said, in hindsight, it's so fucking obvious that it's going to be great. I think that the sky's the limit for this project. So let's move on and wrap up the content segment of the show with a couple things that happened yesterday. Prime Ape Planet, we talked about doing the raffle for their minting process. 8,000 NFT drop. It was 0.25. We said that's a lot of money for it, but there was obviously some demand. This thing is sitting pre-reveal at a 1.4 ETH floor. What a fucking run up this is having. I'm not sure if somebody can fill me in on when the reveal is, but I do think that that's going to be a make or break minute for Prime Ape Planet. I hope it does well. I hope that they nailed the rarity traits and everything looks good, because I do think the quality of the art is very good. But post reveal tend to not be super kind to floors like this that have had a really big run up. So I don't know. Any thoughts on what that can do?
Yeah, I don't know. There was a lot more demand than I think a lot of people expected. At the same time, when I see a project priced so aggressively, I don't shy away. I do the opposite. Oh, well, they obviously know they either have the demand or there's something there. So when I felt like something could happen here, I did lose the raffle, so I wasn't able to mint one. I didn't chase in the secondary market. And I don't know. I mean, there's a ton of demand here. Even if they did fall, I probably don't think they would fall less than like 0.8 or 0.7. So it's really, I think, just about whether you like the art. Is this what you want to rock as your PFP? For some people, I'm sure it's yes. Everyone can find their niche and enjoy it. They're very, very well done apes. I said it yesterday. I think it's original. Have we seen that before? Like very lifelike, good looking apes. I don't know. Very cool.
Yeah, I do like them. I do think they have a lot of potential. Definitely going to be watching the reveal on this. And as metaverse characters, as far as metaverse characters go, these could be very good ones. And 3D art continues to just be strong in the meta. It was always such a dud
Mm.
for the longest time. The last 3 months has not been particularly friendly to 3D profile pictures, and they seem to, on the back of the CloneX drop, continue strong showings, at least in the short term.
Yeah, I feel like something out there changed that.
Yeah.
What was it again? Oh, yeah, you said it. The CloneX drop.
I did say it. I didn't beat around the bush. CloneX changed the meta. They win. You win. Everybody wins. No, it's great.
Should be.
What else happened yesterday? Wulfz. Let's talk about Wulfz. Did mint out, no problem there. Pre-reveal right now sitting at about a 0.1 floor. Lots of volume on it. These are, getting some exposure. People are aware of them. About 500 ETH pre-reveal, and we're going to be watching that as it all goes down as well. But not quite the hype that maybe we thought it would be after they minted out.
Yeah, it was a good cook for the pre-sale. It got up to, I think, 0.2 afterwards, and people were pretty excited. It seems to be a game, but it's not a risk protocol. I don't know a lot. They were very poor at communication and letting people in the Discord. It was locked for large amounts of time. They were unclear about how to get on the whitelist. So it was just too complicated for me to pursue. But I always loved the art. And of course, if they announce some sort of compelling game where Alphamint is just a huge into these P2E games, and if it is something compelling, I probably would jump in. I honestly just still don't know what it is. I'm not saying that as a knock. I guess the only knock would be the team has not communicated it effectively to like the public that isn't deep in their Discord. So, or they just haven't announced it yet, which I don't necessarily fault them for either. Good, don't reveal too much of your roadmap especially if it's not ready. So I guess the only question is why they haven't enough of it. But yeah, so that's my take. I mean, if you're holding them for the game because something that could be a good hold. As far as holding them post reveal, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that indicates this project would be different than the majority of ones that fall post reveal. There's like kind of a special formula for those type of drops, so we'll see.
Yeah, if you minted Wulfz or Wulfz, I guess I gotta say that in a specific way.
Wulfz.
Wulfz.
I always say it German
Wulfz.
because Wulfz.
Yeah,
because there's a U there.
I think
Wulfz.
that works. Yeah.
Okay. Wulfz.
Wulfz.
Yes.
Wulfz.
Wulfz.
Okay, got it. I'm gonna let you say that from now on. If you minted that, if you managed to get in on Ape Planet, make sure you put your hand up at the end of the show and come up and talk to us. I would love to hear what your take is on it, and where you're angling towards. If you're selling, if you're holding, and what your strategy is there. Last thing I have to talk about was last night we were kind of all waiting for the Land DAO to drop. They were doing an 1111 Genesis mint. This was something that they managed their Discord in a very different way. They slowly drip people in. I somehow managed to, I got tagged in a post, but I somehow managed to be in there with like the first 20 people. And there's, I think, 2,000 in there now. But they were building up. It's kind of like a NanoPass style pixel art thing where they're going to be buying metaverse properties with the DAO. There's going to be a rent token that you earn by staking your stuff, and they have a lot of different layers of it. I always thought it looked really good. I always kept it on my radar, especially because I was going to have access to it. But the way that they did it was that the Genesis there was no pre-sale available for it, but that the OG roll and then the first movers role, we're going to get the heads up on the contract and the link to mint at before they announced it to the public. Maybe give you a 3, 4, 5 minute head start, which should be more than enough if you're there and paying attention. After the fact, the first movers and the OGs were going to get whitelist spots for their main drop. based on your role there. So all very cool. That was happening. They built up a lot of hype for this drop. A lot of people in the DGen dojo were waiting for the link to kind of leak out as well. And they announced the time at 8:30, and then at 8:50 they finally dropped the link in. I was there watching it live. Like, I was peeled, like eyes glued to the screen, clicked the link, connected my wallet, went to mint, and immediately, I'm talking 15 seconds max to get in there, and immediately my contract failed. And I tried it 2 more times thinking, like, I don't know, maybe I just hit something wrong. I don't know what I would have done. Contract failed. I didn't lose a lot of gas, thankfully. But yeah, they kind of botched it. They released the contract. The botters grabbed a hold of the contract before. And I mean, this thing was minted out in seconds. There was not a single OG in the chat there that ended up actually being able to mint if they didn't bot. And there was a riot kind of going on. Otto Suin was actually in there, and he led the charge. And so for anybody that was watching that, it was a shit show. For anybody that's thinking about participating in it, they are changing the dynamics a little bit. All OGs in there are going to be able to mint 3 more Genesis. So they are diluting the supply of the Genesis by another 1,111. You're still going to have to pay for it. First movers are going to get 1. And then they're going to move on from there. So I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. I still actually like the project. To me, nothing about the project itself has changed, although there was a gaffe. We've seen projects do a lot worse and fuck it up. I mean, bots and kind of bungled launches are pretty part and parcel with this space. So I don't know if it's worthy of tons of FUD, but yeah, I still do like the project. As a 0.088 mint. The floor right now is sitting at 0.1. So if it drops too hard, I might not mint. Maybe that makes me part of the problem. But I just thought it was interesting. And it was I don't want to say a waste of a lot of people's time, but people were really frustrated about it.
Stop doing complicated things, projects. Just be simple.
Yeah.
These people want to buy your NFTs. Just sell them to them and work on what you need to work on. It's all breaking my head, like how complicated these things are. Yeah, that's all. I just think keep it simple, right? KISS, keep it simple, stupid.
It definitely felt like they were trying to do a little bit too much. I mean, anytime that you're going to give everybody a heads up, that's 6 hours until a stealth drop. It's not really a stealth drop, and you know that the 150 people in there are not going to keep their mouths shut about it, which is fine. You can't even expect that or ask them to. This thing was trading for about 0.4, 0.3 for a while there. It's got 200 ETH in volume, so I mean, I don't know if the bottom's in or if this is just going to get fudded to death. Man, but I mean, there is some recourse for anybody that felt like they were snubbed by being in that Discord for the past 2 months.
I will tell you, R2, they just ate up that 0.7 floor on Critterz.
On Critterz?
It's back at 0.9.
Is it?
Yeah, anytime it gets a pullback, it just gets eaten up. Like this, I just want to make this analogy because it feels a lot like the same like loot, where people like saw this free thing go to 1E the next day and were like, no, what the fuck is this? And then you start seeing outside money. And this is so important because I think we all know like how far we all feel how far a pump could kind of go when it's just the NFT crowd, right? Like a 0.02 mint can get to 0.25, 0.3, da, da, da. But to really get those moonshots, you need that outside money. This feels so much like loot, where it's like, I'm not necessarily giving a price prediction, but the fact that these floors get eaten up so quick anytime it falls below like 0.8 just feels it feels like there's something there.
So I'm going to tell everybody, just put their hands up now if you want to come join us up on the stage and talk about anything that we talked about so far. We wrapped up on the Mutant Ape Serum, the M3. Another one was sold for 1,000 ETH while we were on the show. The gas drop, which is really interesting. We had Prime Ape Planet, Wulfz, Landau, and of course, we're now talking about Critterz again, which is definitely going to be the talk of the town. But if you want to come up and shoot the shit with us on that, just throw your hands up on the Discord stage and we'll bring you up. But back to your point about Critterz is, yeah, like I you know what? I saw it dip down to about 0.4 last night. And I was at that point. I wasn't able to mint, unfortunately, and I was like, I should probably buy this. And like, there were people in voice chat playing Minecraft. I'm like, this just seems like something that's going to be so fun and worth it, regardless of what happens with it. So I don't typically buy off secondary, especially when it's a free mint that's gone to 0.4 like that. But yeah, there's something special about it, and every time it dipped like that, it just ran right back up. I'm glad to say that I did end up buying it at 0.4, and yeah, immediately went back up to like 0.8. And as I mentioned earlier, Steve Aoki was in there. That generated some hype, and I gotta believe that there's more to come in terms of announcements with this as well. So yeah, just a really, really, really fun stuff.
Yeah, no question.
Is there anything that you're looking at today? I saw some stuff going down in the daily drops. I'm gonna pull that up real quick and take a quick look at that. Metastone's DAO was minting the rest of their I think their Genesis tokens today. That's been one that's been on some people's radar for a little bit. Kindergarten
Confused.
What the yeah. I mean, we don't have to talk too much about the art on there, but it's definitely been something that that people have been talking about. Another ape project is minting today. Looks like Kindergarten Baby Apes. God, I don't know. Ape projects just always seem to do well. So I mean, don't discount it. Go take a look at it.
Hey, a serum just sold for 1,000 E. If the word ape is in it today, it's
Wow.
I don't buy. Look, I don't buy these. I honestly have never bought one, and I'm not gonna buy this one. But I just think it's.
Are you saying another
go up.
serum just sold, or you're just saying the one that sold earlier?
No, the one just sold. Yeah, the one.
I thought you meant like another one sold. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
No.
I got you. Yeah,
No.
yeah.
But I'm saying I can imagine everything ape today is gonna see pin action. Knock on effect.
Yeah, for sure. I'm hoping those basic board ape club things that we minted yesterday get the same effect, so I can GTFO on that one.
I thought they did.
They didn't do
Weren't they
bad.
up to like 0.03, which was a 10x or something.
0.02, 0.03, but like with the gas, they weren't like that cheap.
Okay.
If you got in with like gas being low, I think you were paying about 0.01 each. Once gas spiked as it started minting out a little bit, and when I say spiked, I'm kind of air quoting, but yeah, I think my average was like 0.018, so it definitely wasn't a cook.
Yeah.
You got to factor the gas prices in, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I didn't sell any of them. I was hoping that they would. It was low risk, whatever. It's just that was a pure degen play that didn't end up costing a lot in the end of it. But they're still seeing some volume too. I mean, I can pull those up.
Mm-hmm.
Any hands up on the stage? Nobody's joining us today. If everybody's quiet and just trying to get through hump day, I guess.
I think the last thing I'll say about this
I knew if I said that, Cass would throw his hand up. Yeah, go.
I think the only reason I haven't sold it yet is because have any of like the big LP hype boys said anything yet? Like, Pranksy and the other guys who like throw $1 million in the LP to pump whatever bag they were just handed for free. I feel like that'll happen. It'll go 4x and that'll be the time to sell. Like I said, I don't have faith in this the way I do SOS. But if it hasn't really been talked about yet, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe they have already.
SOS wasn't immediate either. That's
why I'm
right. Like SOS had like a bit of a slow burn. Even when we were on the show, we were like, "Oh, is it a thing? Isn't a thing?" And then it was about three hours later that it really started to take off. So I mean, don't discount it yet.
But well, that's it. When did this drop?
Last night.
When was this made available?
Yesterday evening.
Like before you went to bed. So yeah, so I guess the people in England have already seen it.
Yeah, well, considering I barely went to bed last night, yes, but yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of in there with Minecraft, or at least was in the voice chat, Cass was in there with us too. Not sure if you actually ended up jumping in to play with
I
us?
didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't. You know what? It's I'm not really a Minecraft fan, so I was looking at it. I was.
Oh, I think you cut out.
I can hear you well, yeah.
You can hear Cass?
I think I'm not sure if maybe I had you on mute before, and I'm not sure. We're trying. Yeah, I can hear Cass.
What the fuck? Discord at it again, man. Like it was just mid sentence. He
Do
just
you have him
disappeared.
muted?
No, I could hear him before mid sentence.
You have him muted. You may have him muted.
Can you hear me?
Because I turned his. Here, watch this. Watch this. Wait, I just put him on mute. Now, Cass, talk.
Hello.
Can you hear him now?
I can hear him now.
Yeah,
Nope.
when I take him off mute, you can't hear him. How interesting is that?
What?
Oh.
Watch,
But
I'll
just
take him
just-
off mute.
Just
right
confirm,
now.
you guys can hear me, right?
I can hear you. Yeah.
I can hear you.
Fuck, I give up. Okay, yeah. Anyways, Cass,
Yes, bro.
talk to me, man.
Yeah. No, just No, it was cool, innit? Like I do like the aspect of Minecraft, and I was so close to aping in.
And you didn't? He just cut out again. What the fuck?
Bought in when Steve Aoki started to ape in.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that was at 0.7 at that point.
Yep.
0.8. What is it now, anyway?
Yeah, it's about 0.85 right now.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm still looking at it. I know I should ape in. I should just not even think about it and just go in. But it's just Minecraft, and I've always not liked Minecraft, which is weird. I'm more of a Street Fighter kind of person, to be honest.
Yeah, fair.
Give me a game of the Metaverse with Street Fighter against you.
Oh, I'm sure it'll come eventually.
Mortal Kombat? Yeah. Get over here. All that shit. Yeah. That's what I'm waiting for. But Minecraft, nah. I haven't seen my daughter for coming up to a year now because the mum's a bitch. But
sorry,
no, that's real talk. No, it's real talk. It's real talk. So I can't even lie. Yeah. So like she likes Minecraft. My daughter loves Minecraft. So if she was around, guaranteed, I probably would have aped in and let her play it all day long. But yeah. So I think it was that as well that kind of made me feel a little bit sour, and I didn't jump in.
Yeah.
So
fair enough. Well, I mean, if you want to come and socialize with us and hang out in there, feel free to. But
I would. I think what made me laugh more than anything today was when
our
you
first
said,
1E sale, by the way.
Oh wow.
"Oh wow."
What made you laugh?
Yeah, no, what made me laugh? Yeah, it was when you were telling right at the beginning when you were talking about Critterz, and you were saying that you're going to be telling your missus that you're going to be working.
Yeah.
And the giggles, dude, like this NFT life. Whenever I tell my missus I'm working, because of us lot on Christmas Eve, I had the biggest argument.
Yeah, I appreciate being thrown into the middle of that.
Oh, no. I didn't even say it was her. I was just saying, like, I'm just saying Merry Christmas. I'm just saying Merry Christmas. And she was like, I don't care, it's work. I go, are you calling JPEG's work, Bob? Are you understanding that JPEG is work?
Did the old turntables on her.
Why not? And but yeah, Christmas Day was good because I kind of left everything alone. So yeah. How were you guys though? I love your PF.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a sneak peek there from some project that shall not be disclosed.
Snack pack. Pronounced snack pack.
Do not fuck with me. Are you serious?
What's that?
No way.
What?
That isn't from what I think it is. No way. Sorry. Is that? No, it is, isn't it?
What, a wolf?
Yeah.
Sure is, my friend.
Fuck me, that is stunning. I've only just cottoned on it was a wolf. It just looks so regal.
Yeah. There you go.
Fucking sick. Right. I haven't got much to really report on. So I'm gonna chill back in the thing, and yeah, love you guys, man. And Doing great as usual.
Always a pleasure to have you up here. Thanks for jumping up, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon, Cass. Thank you.
Take care, my lemon friend. Take care, lemon.
Lemons indeed. Yeah. All right, let's get in business up here. He's the newly minted Minecrafter. I'm sure he hasn't stopped playing. Maybe not.
In business.
All right. Well, oh, there he is. He did it.
For the last 16 hours.
I can hear you, but I can't really hear what you're saying.
Sorry, is it better?
Yeah,
is that better now?
Yeah, much better. Free market, can you hear him?
Nope. I just let you do the interviews now. If you're the only one who could hear the people
so
up on stage,
is he muted?
I have to mute them.
Oh, okay. So unmute them, and I'm gonna leave the stage and just jump back in. I think that should fix it.
Okay.
I'll bring it in business.
I'll bring up Sam. Okay, let me bring in business back. Cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, so I'm just
gonna hear me?
I can hear you. Free market, unmute him.
Yep, he's unmuted.
And
hello, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Oh, I can still hear him now. I don't know what's going on. Let's go.
All right.
We're good.
Yeah, I've been playing for the last 14 hours.
That a boy.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I went. Huh?
Had you ever played Minecraft?
I'd never played. I looked up a YouTube ad or a YouTube video on how to play Minecraft.
Nice.
You know, it's like it's the funny thing about I was like Minecraft makes like no sense like to somebody that doesn't play it, but then like when you compare it, like Agmar was explaining the whole game, and I was like, I mean, it makes about as much sense as NFTs selling for $10,000. So
100%. That's like I was so obsessed with like, okay, but what is the value proposition here? And I had to take a step back and be like, all right, like what, you know, like little lemon friends we're in love with. Like, what's the value? And we just like it. You like it. It's good. Good enough.
So for people that want to play, I don't know if it's going to be opportunity today. Yesterday I was trying to do it and I just couldn't get it. Somebody had figured out a lot of people want to rent these things, but some people are renting them out for like almost free to have somebody else do their token harvesting for them.
Yeah.
If you can snipe it, you know, you can pick one of these up for like a week for like 0.0. I don't know about today, but like 0.01 for a week, which will give you a pretty decent amount of token yield. You know, I wanted to pick up like, I have 3. I wanted to pick up like, you know, 7 or 8 rentals for the week and just try to get some yield to get some plots.
Yeah.
I think plots are the play. Yeah, sorry for market.
No, you give them to VAs or how could you play? You can't play multiples at once, right?
Well, no. So they stack your value if you have multiples. If you have 8, like if you spend an hour playing, you get. It's not 1 for 1, but you still make a lot more token than if you wouldn't.
Right. So you're saying it's worth the even 0.1 to rent and okay.
I would say 0.01. No, I was saying 0.01. I don't think I would want to pay 0.1.
Right.
I don't think the value is there, but it also depends on what you think like the land is going to be worth.
Right. I mean,
I DJ'd in. Agmar said he had bought a land. I DJ'd in and I bought a plot yesterday for 0.88.
They're selling on OpenSea already, you're saying? The plots?
Yeah, they were. Now that was because I bought mine because I looked at like it was like 0.88 and then the next one for sale was like 5.5 ETH. Mm-hmm. But I think me and like a few other people just brick the plot floor down to like the ones.
What's the cost in block if you were going to buy a plot?
It was 1,000 block. But I think it's like whale game where it linearly increases as each plot's minted.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
yeah, we got to get some land today. It's going to be a Minecraft day.
But I mean, what's amazing about that? What I was going to look at doing is I was going to go on Fiverr and try to find like a professional builder or something like that, and you know, just like, hey, what's it going to cost me to mint for you to build like a Caesar's Palace?
I love it. Yeah, like we could build a casino in there, couldn't we?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, in some way, shape, or form, I don't know if you'd actually be able to have casino games. There might be something there, but
according to Agmar, somebody built a functioning Game Boy inside of
Yes.
inside of Minecraft.
Yeah,
so.
there's a really an endlessly amount of stuff you can do in that game.
Oh my god, 1.5 ETH
I know.
sale
Yeah,
just
I
went
was just
by.
saying that, and I realized I had my mic muted. But yeah, 1.5 ETH floor, not floor. Sorry,
It's not the floor.
sale.
Is metadata being sniped right now?
I can't figure it
don't know
out. That's
why.
like, yeah, that's.
I don't think there is. I don't think there is any. Is there going to be a reveal on these? I thought these were just like a utility.
No, I think it depending on which type you get. There's I think 7 types: Doge, Ape, and like whatever else. I guess metadata leak isn't possible because these are on chain. What is happening? Maybe this could just be unsophisticated money coming in and not understanding what to buy.
The guy who spent 1.5 ETH literally named your exit liquidity. So
I love, I'm glad to hear you mentioning, the kind of the feel of loot for this, because I woke up this morning and I was like, do I sell these? Because it wasn't in my roster of long-term bag holds.
Yeah.
And the last thing I need is another one. I was like,
but Anon Mice. That's what people are saying. This is the next Anon Mice. I've heard it from more than one person. I see VC money coming in. I mean, sure, it's maybe sell one and take some profit. Well, I wouldn't get rid of all of it.
Imagine like just you as a pass, like I mean, even technically, like Alphamint could set up a server where you can use the Alphamint pass as a entrance into a Minecraft server, and then like hanging out there rather than the Degen Dojo, like totally doable. So I guess even just as a pass to a community, it kind of makes sense in that regard.
I mean, I see some things that like there's going to be some functionality lacking. Obviously, like you don't have audio, you don't have like there's a lot of things that you want to have from a functionality standpoint of a metaverse experience.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a hell of a lot more than
Is that this server, or do all Minecraft not have audio?
That I don't know.
Minecraft doesn't have built-in audio. No.
Okay.
There might be some modifications that can be made for it, but not on that server. I mean, you can supplement that with Discord, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, and the other way around that is how does this server grow from a sense of I think Minecraft servers kind of get bogged down after a few thousand people, don't they?
I believe it just depends on the hardware that's running them. They can get a little convoluted, but there are some very, very large servers out there. I'm trying to remember some of them, but they easily have like 10 to 15,000 people on it.
Well, isn't that? I'm wondering if even limiting, like, if that makes renting more appealing.
Oh,
right?
100%.
If this is a server only a few thousand people can get into, like renting a character to get into this server could just be like a big thing.
Yeah.
Well, I know that the other thing will probably be the thing that will have a lot more value in the short term is the plots of land also will allow you entry into the server. So for those that can't get a critter, Agmar was thinking that the land would have more value than the critters.
Do we earn a percentage of what people do on our land?
I don't think that was in the white paper.
Okay.
That would be cool, though.
I didn't see any utility.
Yeah, if people being on your plot generated block because they're there, that would be super cool.
Amazing. And then like you said, that could be an entry for a very wealthy person who doesn't want to be involved with characters of the game to just buy a plot of land and yield off of it. Right?
Well, they were really smart with the rental thing because that is the biggest. Like that was one of the early problems. It was Zed Run. That was like that's the early problem with any of these games that want that have a high price but require activity. Is like people. If you don't have, my daughter's 15 months old, so she's not going to be my Minecraft minion.
Right.
And it is funny how so many of these how many people are going to throw their are going to throw their kids like limiting their game time out the window because all of a sudden it's personally they're like limited to an hour. It's like, hey, you guys have been good this week. We're going to go ahead and remove that limit. There's going to be kids playing 24 hours a day.
There are going to be farms set up all over the world.
Oh, God.
Quite the news story boiling here.
I'm so glad we're
I just heard
broadcasting
one of
this
the wives in the
live.
Child labor
Oh
laws.
God, nothing's gonna go wrong with this one.
Where are they
It's
weakest?
fun.
I'm moving to Canada right now,
We
so that I can get more out of my 15-month-old.
Love it. You just moved, man. You're like, pack up, we're going again.
Yeah, you gotta follow the money. Profit's profit.
Boom.
Oh man. See
So
Scott
we're all
jumped up
bullish.
here,
So
too.
we are bullish. We're still bullish even at. I guess that's a good question. That's more generic than Critterz, right?
Right.
So when we say we're bullish, how do we clarify that? Are we bullish at the current point of entry?
I
Because
feel like
I've always
R2 was at 0.7. He almost said it. He was always like, "This is an entry, buy here," but he had to hold himself back.
Well, that
bullish enough to buy, right? Because that's always the interesting thing about like oftentimes we have conversations about like I do it too, where it's like I don't know if I would get in at this price, right? But at the same time, technically the argument can be made. We've had this conversation with Scott, and like Sneaky takes this mentality is if you wouldn't get in at that price, then you probably should be selling at that price.
Right. Yep.
Yeah,
And
I just bought another one.
Yet we treat that differently.
and I totally great point. And I think what keeps you in this is watching that floor get eaten up every time it dips. Like the demand really seems to be there, and people seem to be sitting and waiting for dips so that they.
Scott, what price point did you just pick up at?
I think it was around 0.8. And my thought on it as you guys are talking about it, and like we analyze all these projects and we say when are developers going to do anything, what's on the roadmap. Like the simple way I look at this, and we were in voice chat for like 8 hours yesterday talking about it, and I know other servers were too and playing, is you already have everybody playing and focused on like there is a game, it's the most popular game in the world
ever.
There's already something functioning here that translates across NFTs to just people that like playing a game, even if you're not familiar with NFTs. And then from when you say what price did I get in, if you go and look at the Critterz site, like land is going for 0.6 to 0.8. Some land is sold for 1.5 ETH. I know Agmar was breaking it down saying like closer to the spawn point is going to be the most valuable land you can get. There's thousands of plots of land to claim. I'm getting ready to claim my first plot today. So let's say that's, whether I hold it or sell it, that's like 0.5 or 0.6 ETH generated in a day.
You've earned 1,000 block just playing around in Minecraft yourself.
I earned 1,000 renting, so I didn't do anything.
Renting. You have just rented out yours, and you've already received 1,000 blocks.
So I rented 4, made, and I negotiated with them too to see that they were going to be active players. Made about 0.35 renting, and then I've earned I earned 1,000 block. So I'll mint my plot, and that's.
I just realized that 1.5 ETH plot sale was mine.
Where are you finding the players in the Discord?
I went in the Critterz Discord and just started talking to people.
Well. Could you drop that Discord in the general?
Hey,
yeah,
Scott. Sure. Scott, that 1.5 ETH plot sale was the one I bought last night while we were all talking.
No, this
sold
for 0.8.
This is
I sold it for 1.5.
This was an actual Critter Genesis that sold for 1.5 too.
And so
pre-revealed, right?
Yeah, pre-revealed.
Crazy.
Yeah, when you say long term, like, are we bullish? We have a game, which, like you said, is the most popular game in the world. We have thousands more plots. We have people paying to rent. There's a lower, even if the floor on this goes to, which who knows what it'll do. But let's say it goes to 2 or 3 ETH, because there's actually something you can do. There's utility with these. You could still rent and get in at a lower price point and earn your way up through getting the land, which you can sell the land. So there's something for people that don't have a lot of ETH to do in the game, and you're playing something that for a lot of people is fun.
So you rented all 4 of yours out. You're obviously getting a lot more. You're getting a lot more block than I am. I probably need to rent it out to somebody that's going to play all day.
Right. Yeah, my focus was like, if this is a hit, and again, because it was a free mint, So if it's a hit,
what did you charge him?
I think my average was around 0.08 to rent. But that was just based on what the floor of renting was. So I just looked at what the floor of renting was, and then I just negotiated with people and really just
Yeah, I
talked to
think
them to see
most of
how
the
many
rentals
games
have
were.
been private sales.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would never rent. I mean, your risk if you just rent to someone and they do nothing with it is like you've just wasted a week, whereas someone
True.
active can earn you probably 0.5 ETH in a week.
Do we think so? But that's why you definitely want to. You don't want to put it up there for free. You want to price it at 0.1 because somebody paying $400 to rent this thing. That's pretty that's motivation to play.
Yeah, it's a great point.
Yeah, totally true.
Definitely
Really good
don't
point.
price it for free on the secondary. And I would feel pretty confident that someone who paid me 0.1 on OpenSea to rent this thing was at least going to try to
cook.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I now am going to go into the Discord and try to do what Scott did because mine have just been sitting there. I didn't know what to do with these things immediately. I had to go out yesterday. I didn't sit around.
Well, I'll see if I can get a plot by Agmar. Because I didn't realize I just made. I mean, I sold my plot sold. So I had one of those right next to the at the epicenter plots I bought off somebody else, and it's gone.
If this really takes off, those are the plots that I think. I mean, the same as you look at loot and other stuff. Those are the plots that'll go for 10, 20 ETH. If this is a massive hit.
Well,
Thanks,
here's now what I'm
You'll be fine.
Now what I'm thinking too, right, is that these are plots that are I almost said physical coordinates in the game that are kind of cordoned off that you have ownership over. It stands to reason.
Yeah, nobody can mine them.
Yeah, exactly. It stands to reason that whatever's built on that plot would also be transferred over too. So if you go and build like a Caesar's Palace, like you're mentioning, you could actually increase the value of that too, because somebody could come in and say, that looks cool.
Yeah.
I want that to be my place. And the work that
was my thought.
This is really cool, actually, now that we're continuing.
I feel like I feel like what should be interesting if you guys want to do this, I could probably find somebody. We should build like the the Degenisance thing that's popping up right now with SOS. Or sorry, that was with Lit. Sorry, that was with Lit. We should build like the House of Degenisance and see if we can like call out like just like for people to come in, just be the first one to have like a legit like.
Well, imagine imagine we go in there and make like a giant statue of a Bored Ape or something, right? Like I gotta believe that somebody with a Bored Ape would come in here and be like, "Oh shit! Like I'll pay 10 ETH for that."
Yeah, yep. Or the Bored Apes, like just gather together. I mean, it would not be a bad idea for us to try, if everybody that's going to get plats, to try and get a block of plats together, because that would make it easier for us to potentially negotiate a very attractive sale if we ever wanted to.
Guys, look at what Sam's just put in the show chat, the stuff that people have built.
Already?
No, like as an example of what could be done.
Yeah,
look at those.
I mean, this is just guys. I'll dig up some pictures for you. These are crazy, but like it's wild the shit that people do in it.
So can we all get clubs and beat people over the head?
Yes,
and
you could do that
stuff?
too.
Good. I think this is
this
is one
now we're talking the
strategy we
language.
should
Just
explore
jumping people in the metaverse. Nice. Gentlemen,
Yeah, we were all these things that these people made. I was on Fiverr last night trying to find a builder that can build this stuff, and it's just figuring out, hey, what would it cost? I was like, what would it cost you to build me Caesar's Palace? Like in Vegas.
This, if you want to draw a parallel, is this is just pixel art, right? Like that's what this is. So it's pretty cool, gentlemen. I'm gonna cut this off here. We're coming up to about an hour and a half on the show, and there's a couple of people with their hands.
Wait, so what you're saying is that we need to build a Star Wolves head?
You're not listening to me. Yeah, exactly.
That could earn you a whitelist spot. That could.
Interesting.
That earn a whitelist spot.
Expensive whitelist spot.
I'm gonna invite Sam's up, but in business, thanks so much for
coming
up.
Pick me up.
Jump in the voice chat though. We're gonna keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. All right, Sam's. I've sent the invite out to you, and then we'll sneak in Josh and somebody else had their hand up too. Zikokwi. Yeah. So we're gonna do a lightning round. Sam, sorry to keep you waiting for so long, but GM.
No, you're good. GM, yeah, absolutely. This is a Minecraft conversation, just like blows my mind. I played Minecraft for years, so
Getting the people going, that's for
it's
sure.
cool.
Would you like
Yeah,
to
it's
rent
pretty
one of
cool.
my? Would you like to rent one of my critters?
I might have to, honestly. Like, I'm in Michigan now, but when I go back to California, I'm gonna pop it up again and just like see like I'm gonna jump in the server, see what that's about, and do like that. I might have to buy into a critter. I was unlucky. I got home like right when it sold out, so I was like, oh man. But like I am just super excited about this project. I hope they do it right. And yeah, I gotta read the white paper. But my question is the server like full right now that you guys are in?
No, I mean, I think there was a couple hundred people in it
Uh,
last night.
I didn't get up to 200 or something.
There's never going to be more than, I
Sure.
guess,
It's
the
cool. I mean,
3,800 that's up there.
yeah, I wonder if like the Minecraft community, I don't know where they are, but if they like, if they know about this just yet, like how many people know, and like when that opens up, like that's gonna be pretty cool, I hope.
I could see a big Twitch streamer jumping into this for sure. I mean, they get tons of views on Twitch when they're playing that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like the only other thing is that kind of I mentioned at the beginning of the show, this is the base version of the game, which doesn't always hold long-term players' attentions. Not always. There's definitely a group of hardcore people that will, play the base version. But yeah, we'll see. I would like to see them add some more stuff in.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm just kind of excited to like get back into like the whole idea of it because if you guys do some research, there's like a lot of really cool YouTube videos of people that created some like pretty intense things, and it is like we talk about the metaverse a lot. Like I remember playing Minecraft with my friends, and I'd be like, "Wow, this is really metaverse like." It's really cool, but I gotta head out, unfortunately. But I appreciate this, and this was an amazing conversation.
Yeah, thank you for coming up and sharing, and thank you for sharing those images too. Amazing stuff.
Crazy.
Alphamint, I love Alphamint. Y'all are awesome. So appreciate you.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Yeah, right back at you. But you were the first one in the stage today, so shout out.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, yeah. That Mendel suit gives you like supersonic speed. Boom! He raced in here.
Next.
Zekoki.
Hello, guys.
GM.
Thank you for having me up today.
Don't even know what I just.
GM, guys, thank you for having me up.
Good
I
morning,
wanted to
sir.
discuss.
Do I have you muted? Yes. Yes, loud and clear.
Leasing, and something that I don't see often that kind of baffles me sometimes. So, a lot of these projects release and they release the roadmap and they tell you that these things are going to be coming, and they're kind of vague about when those utilities and token breeding and whatnot are going to actually be coming. So they mint out their project, the floor goes up, people are flipping, people are holding and whatnot, and then there's a huge lull that could last anywhere between a month and sometimes, like for example, in Galactic Apes situation, up to 3 months. And I don't know, like I don't know how I really feel about this kind of model where the founder and the devs kind of like secure their bags, and the people that bought in at like 1 ETH, 2 ETH early on and supported and believed in with the utility that was coming in the future are kind of just sitting there and their assets are depreciating because the space doesn't really reward that kind of holding if nothing is ready to go. Um, and I'm not trying to FUD Galactic Apes, but like they are an example of this where like people early on could have bought the Genus crews that were promised during the missions for like 1.5 to ETH, and you're seeing a lot of them selling like you could see people selling right now for like zero point 0.3, and they bought at like 1.2 ETH, and it's unfortunate, and it's like, but I don't know, like what are you guys' thoughts on this? I just wanted to.
I wouldn't know what a project could do to mitigate this. You know, this is a function of market. Human beings are very forward looking. We're all futurists. And when we figure something out and we pull gains forward, like, you know, I always talk about RCA radio, which is a great example because people knew how big radio was going to be. And if you look at a chart of that stock in the 1920s, it went from like $1 to $600, and it literally never ever got back there. It never got to $600 again. And radio hadn't even begun to penetrate the mass market. It was because people saw the potential. So I think the most you can do as the leader of a project is try to manage expectations. Now, that means how much of your roadmap do you let out? Do you let people know what you're thinking? I mean, there's an art in that, I certainly believe, but I really believe it's a function of market because we now have a ton of flippers. They all rush into anything that's new. And I don't think the question is, you know, how could you maintain that price? Was the price, should the price have ever been there to begin with? Had the hype cycle not been there, had the traders not been in there, would have ever have even gotten that high? Look at Little Lemons, right? It got up to 0.27. So anyone who bought at 0.27 is down 50% right now. And they probably hate the lemons, right? But if you bought at 0.02, you're up 5x or whatever. So it's like, it's very difficult as a project to manage what happens once these things go out in the wild. You try to manage your roadmap and your communication of it as best as possible, but it's an art and things take on a life of their own once they go out in the public, and it's you can only control so much. So it's difficult, though. I see what you say. I don't think it's project creators being maniacal and saying we're going to get all our big bag now, and then haha, everyone else is stuck with a bag. Well, it takes time to build, right? It just does. So
and
Right.
and money. You know, you do need
And
to
money.
get the fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
I completely agree with that, but for example, like Kaiju Kings, we always talk about kaijus, and the way that they dropped their project was amazing because right away they had the breeding, they had the R waste collection ready to go the second the project minted out and was on the market, and the people that had the Nox passes and had multiple kaijus were able to even make a baby on day one.
Yep.
So like I guess like the reason why it had such a crazy run up is also because like they didn't say coming soon or stay tuned for a month and then we're gonna have our waste and breeding and things ready. Like right away, right when they dropped, they had the entire utility and ecosystem ready to go, and like you saw that crazy run up, you saw the community that they built and everything. So I don't know, like some projects that do that, like you see them come on the scene way stronger than the ones that have it down the line. But on the other side, as you said, like it does take money, it does take time, it does take upfront investment to do that, and maybe not all of the projects are able to not all of the founders are able to front that before they mint out, right?
Yeah, I do believe if you are doing staking, token, and breeding, those things should be available right away. I in that respect, if you have teased it, if it's on your roadmap, give people something to do immediately after the mint. Don't just let it sit out there. That said, I don't think every project needs to have a token, you know, but you do have to make a case for why you.
Yeah, and last example that I just wanted to mention was in the littles, before they even launched, they knew that they didn't have anything ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
But deliberately, the founder of it, Will, like before he was like, you could even call it like self-fudding, where he was saying like, do not buy in, do not FOMO in, like nothing is ready yet. I want the price to be low to represent the fact that what we have going on is going to start in January. And right now, it's not going to be ready, so the price is going to naturally go down. So, like, he didn't do the whole hype cycle and false promises and whatnot. He was honest and upfront. And that's why I think that it's like priced relative to what it should be. Like, I feel like it's well priced and it's not overinflated or underinflated or anything. I think it's right where it should be because he was honest and upfront about the process that was going on behind the scenes.
expert timeline management. Totally agree with you there. I think Will nailed it. And to Cenarius's credit, he did the exact same thing. When lemons were at 0.25, he told people not to FOMO in. He said there isn't some next step on the roadmap ready to launch into this froth or anything. Please be careful. Buy a lemon because you love it. And yeah, I am in 100% agreement with you. So anything a project creator can control in that respect, they should. It is really on you to manage people's expectations. And I agree with you. The littles really did that well.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. This was a great conversation.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, thanks for coming up, dude. We appreciate that. And always love hearing from you when you come up on the stage. So happy Wednesday to you. We're gonna finish the show off with Josh. We're gonna bring him up here. And GM, sir, how are you?
Oh, doing well, guys. GM.
There he is.
I know we've been on a long time here, so I'll make this one quick. Couple of questions I was just thinking about. One was for this Minecraft type thing you guys have been talking about. I'm just curious if there's still a path in for people. I heard a lot of prices thrown around, some for renting, some for buying stuff, but it seemed like the train had maybe left the station. So I wanted to ask about that. So whatever projects you guys are minting this week.
I'm going to let R2 and Scott also speak to this because they went pretty deep yesterday. But the thing that just jumps out to me is if Scott was able to earn 1,000 block by renting out 4 of these things, that means that the underlying people also made maybe 250 or 300 block, right? And if they do that for a few days, they'll be able to get a piece of land, which is now selling for 0.6 or 0.8. So if you can rent one of these things for, say, 0.1, if that is, a viable entry for you, there's one. And then the other is, would I buy one at 0.7 to 1 ETH, given the potential here to earn a piece of land worth 0.6 to 0.8 over like a day or two? Sure. I mean, I still think that's a great price. Maybe R2 and Scott also have some.
Yeah, I mean, the more that we have the conversation, the more I start thinking about it. And so some of these plots of land have been purchased, obviously, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not a ton. It looks like maybe there's like 20, 30 of them out there that have been sold. And obviously they're close to the core, but the real game for a lot of people is going to start once they own their own plot of land, because now they have a safe spot where they can start building and start creating stuff too, right? So if that is their goal, rather than just buying it and flipping it, we're still a little bit away from the average person being able to achieve that, and it is coming too. The more that we have this conversation, the more that I just think that this is incredible attention capture. Like it's good, really good.
Oh yeah, and I don't think it's hit anywhere near like
No,
I think
no. I think
big
it can go
players
up.
are going to come. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And if somebody's got the link in the chat, throw it in there. I'd love to go check these out and see what the activity's like.
Yeah, that's all I'll say quickly is I didn't realize it until we were talking with Agmar in voice chat last night. So I said, oh, there's hundreds of plots of land because I'm not a big Minecraft player. And he goes, no, there's thousands of plots of land. So if, my bet is sort of on the long-term potential of like, is the game a hit? Yeah, the game is a massive hit. So people definitely have interest in this. And maybe 50 plots have been claimed with thousands to go.
Yeah. I mean, I think if there's, if you take the NFT community and say that's 200,000 people, the sheer scope and reach that Minecraft has had, I gotta believe that there's easily 10,000 of them that have played it in some kind of capacity. Maybe not seriously, but I think there's going to be enough people that are going to be like, I just want to be a part of that too. If they can continue to cultivate a community within the server, and people are treating it as much as an investment opportunity as something fun to be a part of, like that, it really is seemingly endless as to where it can go.
Exciting stuff. It seems like a cool one. Yeah, I kind of missed the bandwagon over the holidays, and feels like there still might be an opportunity there to jump in though.
Yeah, even renting it. I mean, you could try it out, earn some block. It might feel shitty to pay that and not have the underlying asset for it, but I mean, you can at least get a sense of whether or not it's going to be something you want to continue with, and you might earn enough block to grab your own plot. So
Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, and then the second question, quick one, is just if you guys have anything you're excited about minting this week or that you're looking at and excited that's coming up soon.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on that Landau again. I'm not super intent on it, but it might be something still. Other than that, not off the top of my head. Scott, free market.
Yeah. As far as announcements, it feels pretty slow out there. All I know is that it feels like we're in that space where you need to have your alerts on the degen on the Alphamint alert channel ready, because who knows what stealth or surprise or free mints we're going to see pop up out of nowhere.
Love it. All right, sounds good, guys. Y'all have a good one over there, and thanks for keeping the chat open this late into the morning. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it, man. Thank you so much for coming up. All right, on that note, this was a really fun show. The life is just like flushed back into the NFT market in seemingly 24 hours. So, if you're tuning in late, please go check it out on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcast. We went in depth in a lot of stuff, and it was a lot of fun talking about all of it. So I'm gonna let free market take it away.
Good luck at the tables, degens.
Peace.